In John Grisham's Framed, we get 10 stories about wrongful convictions. How come wrongful convictions is so prevalent and pervasive in America? Is it the goddamn courts and the cops? Is this criminal justice system? Do we have a fucked criminal justice system? We'll throw innocent people away just because the cops said that they did some petty A, B, and C. But meanwhile, the goddamn felonies, there's fucking dead bodies in Costilla County. So people that murder get away scot-free. But somebody, did a jaywalking charge. There's a seatbelt violation. Somebody did a rolling stop at a stop sign. And then that's almost like they robbed a bank or, a charity or some orphanage or some shit. Like they robbed an orphanage at gunpoint and they're out on the lam. They got, bodies in the trunk and shit. Shouldn't we have a distinction between cardinal felonies and petty nothingness? And then shouldn't the cardinal felonies, shouldn't they take precedent? I got a list here of 28 wrongful convictions, and I'm just going to scroll through them. It's been a while since I wrote this a while ago. So I'm just going to scroll through them and then get an overview of each one and then come back to any one of these. So 28 wrongful convictions. Jamal Truelove. Jamal Truelove is going to get $13 million for his wrongful conviction. Bryan Beals. Bryan Beals, does he get a bunch of money too? He gets, settlement of more than $200,000. Not for sure if he gets that or not. John Adrian J.J. Velasquez. He had to serve 24 years in prison. Wrongfully convicted of a murder. And then then he got released. So this guy doesn't get any money. So some of these people get like huge fucking payouts. Jamal Truelove, he got $13 fucking million, which is, it's kind of worth it. They said that he was arrested of a murder. He goes to jail, has to survive jail. C.J. Rice. So he goes in there for 12 years. When he was 17, freed when he was 30. And again, we're not seeing any money. It says that Dream.org raised $118,000 for C.J. Rice. So that's nice. He received no money from the city or the state for his wrongful arrest and conviction and sentencing. So I don't know which one's worse. It sucks. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that people get justice. You threw a person in jail and they get $13 million. But then, this guy goes to jail for 13 years. And he's just allowed to walk free. It's like, get the fuck out of here, Yeah, we fucked up. We made a mistake. Well, can you give me $1 million or something? Can you give me some money to rebuild my life? Get the fuck out of here. So Dream.org at least raised $118,000. Gene Simmons. Let's go all the way to the bottom of this because I know that there is more money. The money on the barrel. So let's see here. Bobby Tolan. Let's see. Michael Sutton and Kenny Phillips. Michael Sutton and Kenny Phillips. Do we have the money? No, I'm not seeing the money at all. So let's keep going until we see the money. Okay, let's see what the biggest payday is. Cody Marble. I'm not seeing any money for that. It says that he received less than $2,000 from a GoFundMe. So Cody Marble didn't get much. Christopher Dunn. He had a life sentence without parole. And then they said that he should be allowed to go. $17,000. Okay, this doesn't turn out as golden as I thought. Where's the damn money at? Gary Dodson. How much money did Gary Dodson get? A lot of these people was in Illinois. Okay, so Gary Dodson got $120,000 for his wrongful conviction. August 25th, 2003. So, what's going on with Illinois? Illinois seems to actually have a good justice system. You fuck somebody over, you stole their freedom, even just a little bit of money to rebuild their lives, but it's almost like, get back out there and do the crimes that you were doing from before. Okay, now you got yourself a 13-year jail sentence, okay? So, good luck. Good luck getting out like Hurricane Carter, right? He was the boxing champion of the world. Oh, great. Now this damn machine is going. Maybe I'll read this again and then come back to you because I know that there is, let's see, $5.4 million settlement. $5.4 million. Alan Beeman gets $5.4 million. So Jamal Truelove got a bigger fucking $13 million, which is incredible. But Alan Beeman got, he received a 50-year prison sentence. I don't know how many, 13 years. $22 million. The most expensive wrongful conviction. When they said that the city, which city? Chicago had to pay Nathan's Fields convicted of $22 million. Ricardo Rodriguez gets $5.5 million. So Nathan Fields, $22 million. Alan Beeman, $5 million. Jamal Truelove, $13 million. Ricardo Rodriguez, $5.5 million. Marcel Brown. Okay, they said that was the biggest one, but look at this. He got $50 fucking million. Marcel Brown got $50 fucking million. For the wrongful conviction of murdering Paris Jackson. So you basically ended two people's lives, right? Somebody murdered Paris Jackson, and then you said it was that guy, and now that person their life's ruined. So Marcel Brown gets $50 million. Ricardo Rodriguez gets $5.5 million. Nathan Fields gets $22 million. Alan Beeman gets $5.4 million. Good. Let them get their fucking money. Because you want to fuck over people's fucking lives. But that's because Chicago, Illinois, that's because they got some decent lawyers, some decent laws going on in Chicago. But in the rest of the country, you should just be happy with getting your freedom back. You're not going to get no big fucking settlement. You're not going to get a big payout. Yeah, we fucked your life over. We fucked your life over for 20, 40, 30, 50 years. Fuck you. Get the hell out of here. The council approved a $9.95 million payout to Mubarez Ahmed, who served nearly 20 years for a 2001 double homicide before he was exonerated in 2019. $10 million for Mubarez. So for the people that think cops can do no fucking wrong, boy, you are just paying millions of dollars to anybody that the cops fucking pick on. You are paying millions of dollars. City Council approved a $7.5 million settlement in 2022. Lawsuit brought by Devontae Sanford, 14-year-old, when he was tricked by Detroit cops into confessing to a 2007 quadruple homicide. We know you killed them four guys. $7.5 million. $10 million. Cops being off the fucking chain is costing your city a bunch of money. You should pay attention to that. You probably should fire that fucking cop. Larry Smith, he got $8.5 million from Detroit. He spent 27 years in prison. And they said that they spent $20 million in exoneration settlements between. So that means $8.5 million. That's like, he got the lion's share. 40% of all the exoneration settlement money went to Larry Smith. Devontae Sanford, Larry Smith, $7.5 million, $8.5 million, $10 million, $9.95, $50 million. Marcel Brown got $50 fucking million. $5.5 million, $22 million, $5.4 million. My God. How about stop fucking up? Why don't y'all stop fucking up? You're not only costing the goddamn city money, but what good is it for you all to go after innocent people, throwing them? There's guilty motherfuckers running around here fucking laughing at you sons of bitches and bragging about all the fucking crimes that they committed. Meanwhile, a bunch of innocent people are getting railroaded and fucked the fuck over. It's not hard to imagine that a police officer, if you just think any kidnapping a police officer commits is, right and fine and dandy, you can arrest Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers ain't gonna fight you. But a goddamn motherfucking Mr. T, goddamn motherfucking Jeffrey Dahmer's gonna fucking, he's gonna fight you. He's dangerous. That's a monster. Cops don't want to go after a Jeffrey Dahmer. They might get hurt. So it's better just to arrest all the Mr. Rogers out there. And Miss Rachel's. Daryl Ewing of Detroit. Say how much money he got. So those are the biggest. That was the highlights. $8.5 million for Larry Smith. Sidney Holmes, Daryl Ewing. And this is just, a quick wrongful conviction. I just Googled wrongful conviction and compiled all this together. Robert Robertson. This went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court actually saved his life. I don't know if he got any money from that. Anthony Bedolla. Michelle Murphy. Keith Roberts. Christine Bunch. 25 million is the second largest wrongful conviction. Ronnie Long. I mean, my God, you keep pushing how much money. I mean, I've seen, the biggest ever a bunch of times. $25 million? Is that what I'm hearing? Ronnie Long got $25 million? Yeah. $22 million from the city of Concord. This is North Carolina. $3 million from the State Bureau of Investigation. You think it was a good idea, North Carolina, to fuck Ronnie Long over? You fucked Ronnie Long over, and now he got $25 million of your cash, and I bet you he was due. He was owed it. So, $25 million for Ronnie Long, $25 million. And then you had all those big, numbers that I just read here. $7.5 million for Devontae Sanford. $8.5 million for Larry Smith. Mubarez Ahmed got $9.95 million. $50 million for Marcel Brown. So far, Marcel Brown's winning, right? He got $50 million. Ricardo Rodriguez got $5.5 million. $22 million to Nathson Fields. So that's up there, $22 million. $50 million, $22 million. Who is Nathan Fields? I mean, Nathson Fields. That's a fucking, you won the lottery in some respects. So that would, you would forgive if I was in jail for 10, 20 years. That helps. $5 million bucks, it helps. It doesn't get the time back. But now you could kind of live your life of, a little bit of luxury. If you spend your money wisely, that should be enough to eat on and to invest on. You should be fine. So out of the top ones, see, Marcel Brown got $50 million. And then, let's see, it was this $20 million case. Right, $22 million. Who won that $22 million? Nathson Fields. So Nathson Fields got $22 million. Marcel Brown got $50 million. And then we just read about this guy up here. $25 million. So he would be number 2, right? There's a $50 million, there's a $25 million, and then there's a $22 million. So Ronnie Long, it says, it's the second largest wrongful conviction settlement ever recorded in all of human history. I don't know if that's hyperbole, but $25 million, that's a good fucking lawyer. Got the city of Concord. I mean, could you imagine, like, the city council and the mayor being like, yeah, I guess we owe him $22 million. You think that's right? I don't know. Maybe it should be $20 million. Hey, they were asking for 24, so 22 is actually a deal. We're getting a good deal here. Oh, okay. Well, then 22 million. Charles Jackson. So when it comes to, our system, what the fuck is wrong with our system? Some of these guys just got to get free. Some of these people are still fighting the charges. So some of the people are still wrongfully convicted and they're behind bars. When I think about Mickey Blue, Joe Bryan and Mickey Blue, he comes home, his wife is fucking shot the fuck up, dead. He was at some conference, he's a principal out in Texas, and then they pointed at him, said he did it. So not only did he lose the love of his life, not only did he lose his wife, but because they're such a douchebag, and it turned out to be a cop. So the husband of Mickey Blue has to serve 30 years in prison on top of losing the love of his life. Meanwhile, Dennis Dunlap walked away still carrying his badge. There was something about him blowing up the grandmother's house or some shit. Dennis Dunlap kept on fucking around with the the family and the investigation until eventually they're like, could you just get the hell out of here? You know, you're really kind of mucking things up around here. People just get so hot and bothered by their own goddamn. Joe Dunlap, his badge was intact, so Joe Dunlap murdered Mickey Blue, walks away, still gets to be a cop. So if you're a police officer, you could commit the crimes and nobody's going to question you, investigate you, arrest you. I mean, hell, you got qualified immunity. You could just, make up that you were scared for your life. But what the fuck? Joe Bryan was a good principal. He was a good man. Before he was sent to prison, he even told somebody to stay in school because he cared about his students and he wanted his students to do well in life. But Joe Dunlap, a police officer, Clifton police officer, wanted to fucking rape and murder Mickey Blue, and he got away with it. So the guilty get to go free, and the innocent have to serve 30 fucking years in jail. Then Joe Bryan gets out. Joe Dunlap, could they both? Dennis Dunlap. Dennis Dunlap was the cop. Joe Bryan gets out after 33 years, lives for about 5 years, and then dies. So you killed two people. You killed both of that, you killed the husband and you killed the wife. You killed the wife and you killed the husband. Why? Because goddamn Dennis Dunlap, a cop, wanted to rape and murder somebody. And he raped and murdered somebody earlier too. The only reason we know about any of this stuff is because he's going to kill himself later on. He's going to go on to the next town and he's going to be a police officer for the next town. And he bragged about it. "48 years in prison. This is Glenn Simmons. Does he get any money? He got $7 million. So this just, what the fuck, America? There wouldn't be these $1 million settlements if you weren't royally fucking up. If you weren't royally fucking up, you wouldn't be seeing these $1 million settlements. C.J. Rice. John Adrian. Okay, so we'll just focus on Glenn Simmons. What happened with Glenn Simmons? 1974 murder, Edmond Liquor Store in Oklahoma. Carolyn Sue Rogers. 18-year-old witness, Belinda Brown, been shot in the head the same day. Identified 4 men other than Glenn Simmons when she was handed a pile of photographs as a lineup procedure. Glenn Simmons was 22. After the wrongful arrest and conviction, and then Glenn Simmons was released from prison in 2023. After he was exonerated when he was 70 years of age. 70 fucking years old. He served nearly 50 fucking years. Glenn Simmons' imprisonment is believed to have been the longest prison incarceration of an innocent man in American history. That's a long, 48 years, that's a long sentence. That's a long prison sentence. News 4 had reported on Glenn Simmons' wrongful arrest, so there's, some local media stations that still kind of give a shit about the truth. Glenn Simmons had testified on December 30th, 1974. He was in Harvey, Louisiana, had spent the day playing pool. His alibi was confirmed by 4 witnesses. Later on, 5 more affidavits were submitted testifying that Glenn Simmons was in Harvey, Louisiana on the day of the Oklahoma murder. So he had an alibi, rock solid alibi. He filed for post-conviction relief, federal petition for a writ of habeas corpus. Both were denied. Then 2024, he got $7 million. Why would they deny it in 1997? Why did they deny him that? It's like, no, you need to serve another fucking 30 years in prison as an innocent man. You already got one murder. Why do you got, the system is murdering people. The system is killing people. Because they can't find out who fucking did it. They can't find out who fucking murdered the person. They're just going to finger some random person, and then this innocent person is going to go to jail for a long-ass fucking time. So because one guilty person, because a murderer wants to take somebody else's life, a murderer wants to snuff the life out of somebody else, and because of the broken criminal justice system, you killed 2 lives. One person got murdered by the murderer, and then another person got murdered by the system. The innocent person that got fingered by the cops and the courts. Courts have to rubber stamp whatever a cop does, right? So if a cop kidnaps somebody, well then the damn judge thinks that they have all the power over that person's body, And they get drunk with power. They're a bunch of insecure, dumb, fucking, nerdy, stupid fucks, and they're dependent on these bouncer, tattooed types. So you need the big, strong cops to throw your Mr. Rogers in the fucking jail. But I don't know, maybe these big, fat, tattooed, fucking, musclehead motherfuckers, maybe they're not too bright, you know, maybe they're not too smart, maybe they can't connect the dots. Maybe they're actually helping their gangster buddies out, and they're going to go and throw this innocent man in jail so they can cover up their... Dennis Dunlap, I mean, that fucking kills me. Joe Bryan, Mickey Blue. Because Dennis Dunlap was a cop. He got away with the fucking murder. You killed America. You killed Joe Bryan. You killed him. I guess some people was on the Innocence Project, but that's your leadership. That's your fucking system. Your judicial system. Somebody murdered his wife, and then you threw him in jail for 33 fucking years. That's fucked up. That's disgusting. You can't put yourself in other people's shoes. Then how can you call yourself a Christian nation? A Christian nation is empathy. How are you supposed to treat your neighbor as yourself if you can't put yourself in the shoes of your neighbor? How can you treat your neighbor as yourself if you don't walk around in the skin of your neighbor? If you don't see the world from their perspective, from their eyes? If you can't see things through their perspective, then you cannot apply that as a framework to treat others as you'd want to be treated. It's not just a line. It's a framework of philosophy. It's a framework of how to be.